Today we're taking a look at the New York Mets vs. Washington Nationals match, which is happening on Thursday, April 1st, 2021 at 7:05 p.m., and giving you my betting tips and predictions in general on this game. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. Major League Baseball will crown a new World Series champion, as the defending champs have been eliminated from playoff contention. The Nationals struggled through an injury-riddled 2020 that has been a transition year from a team loaded with veterans to a new crop of talent. Juan Soto has firmly established himself as one of the best players in the bigs, and a host of other young Nationals now have big league experience. That does not change the disappointment of not reaching the playoffs in 2020, and the organization is moving forward building a team that will return to the playoffs in 2021. The Mets ended a disappointing season last year at 26-34, dropping 7 of their last 10 games while missing the playoffs for the 4th straight year. Led by first baseman Pete Alonso, who ended the year belting 16 homers while possessing a batting average of .231, the slugger will lead an offense that ranked 13th in runs scored per game, just under 5, yet ranked in the top 10 in batting average, on base percentage, along with home runs. Left fielder Brandon Nimmo. The Nationals also had a less than stellar season last season, finishing with 26-34 record while missing the players after a 2019 World Series pennant run where they took out the Houston Astros. However, like the Mets, the offense was potent, ranking in the top 10 in runs posted per game, batting average, on base percentage, along with stolen bases. Their young phenomenon outfielder Juan Soto. The Mets are not eliminated yet, but the chances are extremely slim that they slip into the playoffs with a sub.500 record. The offense has certainly been strong enough to carry the Mets, but the pitching outside of Jacob deGrom has been a disappointment in 2020. What is left for the Mets is to now finish the season strong, doing all they can to gain momentum heading into 2021. That would start with a series win over the Nationals, which would give the Mets the season series. New York is gunning for the NL East crown this season after what ended up being a disappointing year in 2020. The Mets added star shortstop Francisco Lindor in the offseason, making this one of the best lineups the organization has ever had. Center field Brandon Nimmo is projected to bat in the leadoff spot, with Lindor expected to bat second. Right fielder Michael Conforto, first baseman Pete Alonso, and left fielder Dominic Smith are also nice bats in the lineup. Lindor is the headliner, though, as he is viewed as the best shortstop in the MLB. He averaged 34 homers for the Indians from 2017-19. The New York Mets come into the 2021 season looking to shake off another disappointing season in the Big Apple, finishing the year with a 26-34 record in the condensed 60-game slate and missing out on the playoffs for the 4th straight year. The Mets were some of the busiest teams in the offseason in terms of bringing in new and fresh talent to finally live up to lofty expectations, bringing in Carlos Carrasco and Francisco Lindor via trade in January, as well as inking utility pieces like Jonathan Villar and Kevin Pillar to free agent deals as well. The Mets still have a strong batting lineup, anchored with such talents like Pete Alonso, the aforementioned Lindor, Jeff McNeil, Michael Conforto, and Brandon Nimmo. The pitching rotation is also looking solid, led by perennial ERA master Jacob deGrom, with the Mets also bringing in Joey Lucchesi to suit up alongside Marcus Stroman and Taijuan Walker, with the return of Noah Syndergaard, Carrasco, and Seth Lugo all looming after approximately the first month of the season. Speaking of deGrom, he's expected to start on opening day and was 4-2 with a 2.38 ERA and 104 strikeouts last season. In his career, deGrom is 8-4 with a 2.61 GAA and 160 strikeouts against Washington. The Mets will send ace Jacob deGrom to the bump on Thursday night. deGrom will become the 4th pitcher in franchise history to start 3 consecutive opening days. He would be making his 4th straight start to open the season, but he was out with an injury in 2018. deGrom struck out 10 batters in a win over the Nationals on opening day 2 years ago. New York added right-handed pitcher Trevor May to its bullpen, and he is expected to be the first setup man. Reliever Seth Lugo is going to be out for the first month of the season due to elbow surgery rehab. Aníbal Sanchez takes the mound for the final time in 2020 tonight, facing off against a Mets team that defeated him earlier this season on August 12. During that game, Sanchez lasted just 2.2 innings, giving up 5 runs and 6 hits while walking 2 and striking out 2. The right-hander is coming off a 5-inning, 1-run win against the Phillies and has posted a 5.49 FIP and a 1.741 WHIP this season. The Washington Nationals were unable to defend their World Series title in 2020 after following up a successful 2019 with a 26-34 overall record, tied for third in the NL East and Washington's first losing season since 2011. There was a tremendous amount of turnover from last year heading into this year, as the Nats parted ways with names like Adam Eaton, Aníbal Sanchez, Kurt Suzuki, Ryan Zimmerman, Asdrubal Cabrera, and Brock Holt, but Zimmerman resigned in January and Josh Harrison resigned with the Nationals as well. The Nats brought in some veteran experience from the Windy City as John Lester and Kyle Schwarber both come in from the Chicago Cubs via free agency, and Brad Hand from the Padres via free agency as well. It's still business as usual for the Nats in the starting rotation as Patrick Corbin, Max Scherzer and Steven Strasburg anchor the lead spots with Joe Ross and the aforementioned Lester in the mix with guys like Austin Voth and Eric Feta each getting their turn in the starting role as well. Scherzer is expected to get the start here and was 5-4 with a 3.74 ERA and 92 strikeouts last season. In his career, Scherzer is 12-5 with a 2.70 ERA against the Mets. So here are my betting suggestions for that game. The Mets are ready to make a step towards the beginning of a bounce-back season when they face Washington on Thursday night. I have some questions about the Nationals, who were unable to build on a surprise World Series title in 2019. Scherzer dealt with an ankle sprain during spring training and did not look as sharp as DeGrom in the tune-up for this season. 9 times out of 10, I'll give strong consideration to Max Scherzer as a home dog, and opening day you'd have to think everyone is pumped up for. However, there's been a lot of turnover with Washington's lineup, and Scherzer was injured a lot last year, and you'd have to think that the Nationals are going to keep a very, very close eye on Scherzer and they won't hesitate to pull him out at the first opportunity. My first betting advice is to pick New York minus 145. Because of the reputation of these two pitchers, the public will be betting the under and that line will probably be overvalued. In fact, at the time of this writing, PointsBet has the total set at 6.5, minus 120, which is absurdly low and a great spot to take the over. Moreover, the Action Pro report is tracking sharp money on the over, which is getting only 32% of the tickets but 51% of the money at the time of publication. Plus, our model projects the total should be closer to 7.7, which means the 6.5 number provides a lot of value. New York is 0-5 in their last 5 games as a favorite and 1-4 in their last 5 division games, while the over is 4-1 in their last 5 road games. Washington is 7-2 in their last 9 games overall and 6-2 in their last 8 home games, while the over is 4-0 in their last 4 games as an underdog. The over is 4-1 in the last 5 meetings between these two teams. My second betting bets is to pick over 7. Good luck to all of you. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.